My name's Francesca Palladino. I'm a recruitment officer at Vancouver Island University. So we're located on Vancouver Island, which is in British Columbia, Canada. We have a few locations across the island. Our main campus is in Nanaimo. That's the photo of the campus you see there. It is our largest campus on over 100 acres, and it is where the majority of our students study. It is also the only campus that offers on-campus housing. So, I just like to start by stating that the Vancouver Island University community acknowledges and thanks the Snuneymuxw, Kowatsin, Tla'amin, Snonaws, and Kwamut Lalem First Nations, on whose traditional lands we teach, learn, research, live, and share knowledge. So, as I mentioned, the Nanaimo campus is our main campus that most students study out of, and where the majority of our programs are located. However, we also have a smaller campus in Powell River, which has recently been renamed to Tushimau, which is a Tla'amin word that means house of learning. That was gifted to VIU by the Tla'amin First Nations. A lot of trades programs that run out of there. We also have our Cowichan campus, which is our second largest, and there's quite a few different options that run out of there as well, including our Bachelor of Education and several trades. And then we have our Parksville Center. This is a very small campus and just our spot and aesthetic students that study out of that location. So a few things to note about VIU. Our student population is only about 12,000 students across all of our campuses. So you're looking at smaller class sizes, generally under 35 students. So there is much more of a community feel. You get to know your professors very well on a first name basis. They get to know you. And there's a lot of different supports that are available if you want to talk to your professor. After class, they always have office hours available. So you get that interaction, which is really nice. Compared to some of the larger schools in BC, where you might be in a lecture hall with, anywhere from 100 to 300 students, you're not really interacting directly with your teachers. You're usually working with the teacher's assistant. Of our 12,000 students, 12% are Indigenous and about 12% are international. So you're getting, an array of students from different cultures, different backgrounds, which really kind of adds to the overall experience. And we give out over $4 million in scholarships, awards, and bursaries every year. So for a school of our size, that is a pretty good amount. And those are just available directly to our VIU students and based on a number of different eligibility criteria. It's very easy to apply for scholarships, awards, and bursaries. Students can do so through their student record. It is one form that they have to fill out once a year. That's it. And then you're automatically in the running for anything you might be eligible for. So it's a very simple process to access that funding. Additionally, we have nearly 300 different work-op positions available on campus. So that is an opportunity to get some part-time work, and particularly, in a department or field you're interested in. It looks good on your resume, and it is an opportunity to make a little bit of extra income. We'll work around your school schedule, and you can kind of pick and choose your hours. So we have a couple work-up students in our office. They do things like run campus tours. They will sometimes come to recruitment events and speak about their own experiences. And they'll handle all and create all the content for our TikTok. So not a bad way to spend your time and to make some extra money for it. And we offer over 120 different programs, everything from master's degrees, 4-year undergraduate degrees, 2-year diplomas, 1-year certificates, and numerous trades programs. Then you can see on the right here, our employment rates after graduation are quite good as well. So, the VIU experience, I already mentioned the small class sizes. Our faculty, they're here to help, and they're really, really supportive. And they all are very much experts in their field. They come from years of background in the industry. So they can be really helpful as well with, some a bit of career guidance and helping you navigate, your future career as well. We also have undergraduate research opportunities. So you could work alongside a faculty member, helping them with any sort of research that they might be doing. Or you could spearhead your own research if there is a problem in the world that you would like to try to solve. There's a lot of grant money available for students who want to conduct their own research. So that's pretty cool. It looks really good on your resume. It looks really good if you're planning to apply to grad schools. And sometimes these research opportunities can actually be paid as well. One really good example is we have our Deep Bay Marine Research Center. So our fisheries and aquaculture students will often do undergraduate research there. As far as like fish, ocean health and sciences. So that's really neat as well. So this just gives you a bit of an idea of where we're located. So you can see that Nanaimo is a very kind of central spot on the island. We are very close to Vancouver, just about an hour and 40-minute ferry ride from the big city of Vancouver. Whistler's not far off either, but also on the island as well. Victoria, which is the capital, is only about an hour and a half. So if you're looking for something a bit more big city feel, that is very close at hand. Tofino, which is some of the best surfing in Canada, is only about 2.5 hours away. And Mount Washington, which is our local ski hill, is about an hour and a half to the top. So lots of things to explore. Nanaimo itself is a population of close to 100,000 people. It is a growing community. It's nice because you have all the amenities of a large city, but it still feels like more of a small town. There are a lot of opportunities to get outdoors. We have tons of lakes, ocean, beach areas, rivers, tons of hikes and paths. So if you're an outdoorsy person, there's a lot for you to do. And if you're not, there's still a lot of city amenities you can access in Nanaimo as well. So cafes and restaurants, art shows, live music, different kind of festivals and entertainment, shopping. So there's a little bit of everything for everyone. Student life is a really important part of the VIU experience for sure. So we offer a lot of different events throughout the year. Rock VIU is our main kind of welcome week that we have at the very beginning of every school year. That's a great opportunity to get acquainted with campus, to learn about some different supports available, and to meet other students. So we do, different performances and live music. We have free food, lots of giveaways. We'll do things like a drive-in movie theater, scavenger hunts, all sorts of cool things. We also offer campus tours during that week as well. So you can figure out where you need to go to get your books, your student card, where your classes are going to be, all that sort of stuff. Additionally, we have a lot of other events that happen just regularly throughout the year. Lots of time, those are music, performances, plays. Last year on Bob Marley's birthday, they organized a huge reggae festival in the quad that was completely free to students and staff. So that's just a small example of some of the different great things that are going on campus throughout the year. And additionally, our student union supports close to 100 different student clubs. So that is anything from Dungeons and Dragons to biology to ski and snowboard. There's a little bit of everything. And if there's a club that you would like to join that doesn't already exist, you can totally start one. That is completely encouraged. And then these are just some pictures of our Rock VIU. You can see there is all sorts of happy, smiling students and lots of fun stuff going on. So we have a lot of different program areas to choose from. So, some of the different areas include science, tourism, business, social sciences. We have a lot of Indigenous specific programs, health, science, human services, education, arts and humanities, art and design, trades and applied technology, and academic and career preparation, which includes high school upgrading. Three of our degree programs are what we call open admission programs. So that just means that they are such large programs that they are not highly competitive. You only need to meet the minimum requirements in order to be accepted. So that includes Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Business Administration, and Bachelor of Science. So the admission requirements for domestic students for that program would be high school graduation and a minimum C in English 12 across the board. Business also requires a minimum C in either Pre-Calculus 12 or Foundations of Math 12, and Bachelor of Science is a minimum B in Pre-Calculus 12. However, depending what area of focus you're thinking about going into in science, there are usually additional high school prerequisites to consider. The steps to becoming a student are pretty straightforward. Applications are currently open for the following intake, and the majority of programs close on March 31st. So obviously the first step would be to choose a program and review the admission requirements and deadlines. So that's a great time to connect with myself or someone else in our office, and we are happy to kind of help you through that process, make sure you have the requirements, and talk to you a little bit about the application process. Your next step would be to submit your application through Education Planner BC. So this is a third-party website that the majority of universities use for their application process. So it only should take about 10 minutes or so to set up an account. It's really easy. Once you're set up, you can apply to VIU, you can apply to multiple programs. You just need to pay a small application fee, and that's it. There's no need to have your transcripts or anything ready to go at that time. Within a couple weeks of you submitting your application, our admissions team will contact you by email and let you know what your next steps are and how to get that supporting document into us. And then depending on the program, you can usually expect to receive an admission decision sometime in April. So really important to keep an eye on your email for any communications from us around that time, because we'll include instructions on how to accept your offer and how to pay your tuition deposit, which is necessary to hold your spot in the program. From there, depending on the program, there might be some flexibilities for you to pick some different courses. And we highly recommend meeting with an educational advisor at that time, as they can help you with course planning and registration. So the first day of classes would be September. VIU.ca/apply is how you find the link to Education Planner BC. Some optional steps is for BC students who need to apply for Student Aid BC. We recommend applying at least a couple months before the start of your program. If you need student housing, we do a first-year priority for brand new students. Applications are going to open up for housing on January 2nd. May 1st is the deadline to be considered for that first-year priority. So we definitely recommend applying as early as possible. Even if you haven't been accepted into your program yet, I think it's better to have housing options and to pass on them than to be trying to get in, like last minute. That being said, for students who do need to live off campus, we do have an off-campus housing coordinator that can help you find accommodation and to help you kind of navigate the rental market, avoid scams and frauds, and know your rights as a renter. And any students that have any type of learning disability or any physical barriers, we recommend connecting with our accessibility services at least 2 months before the start of class. So some of our different student supports, I mentioned accessibility services and advising. We also have lots of different free tutoring options for our students, including the Writing Center that can help you formulate an essay. We have our Math Learning Center for those who struggle with math. And we also have some peer-supported learning where older students are tutoring younger students. Higher level students are tutoring first and second year students. We also have a student health clinic on campus. If you're not feeling well, you can make an appointment to see one of our nurse practitioners. We also have counseling services. If you are feeling really stressed out or overwhelmed and you need to talk to someone, you can book an appointment with one of our counselors. All of these services are absolutely free to our students. And we have a career studio, which is your one-stop shop for anything job related. If you're looking for a work opposition or some part-time work while you're in school, there's some great place to visit. If you're nearing graduation and you're looking for a job, they can help with that as well. And they can also offer some tips on having a really strong resume and being a really strong interviewer. And we have some really great Indigenous resources as well. Our elders in residence that are actually teaching faculty and are usually available on campus for anyone who wants to meet and have a chat and a cup of tea. We also have our advisors in services for Aboriginal students. So they offer the same sort of services as educational advisors, but they also go a bit deeper into things like Indigenous scholarships, band funding, housing options. And we have our community cousins, which is a peer mentorship program. So all of these groups can be found at Shkepta, which is our gathering place. It is a welcome and opening place for any and all students, not just Indigenous students. It's a great place to just go and grab a snack and find a quiet place to study. But they also do a lot of different cultural events and workshops throughout the year that I highly recommend. So financial support, I spoke a little bit about our internal scholarships, awards, and bursaries, but there's a lot of external awards that are available as well. And those are administered through all sorts of different organizations. They all have different eligibility and criteria. Our financial aid and awards team, they're really, really helpful. And they're a great place to start if you don't really know where to begin as far as financial supports. They can help with all those pieces, including student loans. Government grants are something that you would receive when you apply for your student loan. If you're eligible for any grant money, they'll just award that to you automatically. You don't need to apply for it separately. VIU.ca/financial-aid-awards. They have done a really good job of putting together a lot of resources to kind of get you started with your financial planning. So on-campus housing, like I said, we only offer a first-year priority. It used to be a first-year guarantee, but the need for housing has gone up quite drastically. We are going to be adding a lot more student housing in the next couple of years, as well as a dining hall. So that is on the way. But yeah, we have quite a few different room options as well. We have like more of a shared kind of dorm style room where you would be sharing with another student. We have traditional single rooms. We have modern double and single rooms. So it totally depends on your preference, depends, on your budget and a lot of other factors as well. If you're going to be rooming with someone else, if there's someone that that's attending VIU, you can request to be roomed with them, and we will totally, do our best to accommodate that. And if not, we'll have you fill out a roommate profile so that we can try to match you with someone that we think you're going to get along with really well. We also have kind of more apartment and townhouse style options where you and a few other students would be sharing kitchen, living room, and dining room just between the few of you. Otherwise, if you're in more of the dorm rooms, it's going to be a larger kind of common space for cooking. One of the really nice things is you're never sharing a bathroom with more than one other person. That's great. So you're not sharing a bathroom with the entire floor of the building. So that is a nice little benefit. But yeah, our housing options, they range anywhere from about $4,500 for the school year to about, I think, $8,000 for the school year. So again, it depends on your room choice, and it depends on your payment plan as well. If you want to pay up front, there's a bit of a discount. If you decide to do installments, it's a little bit more expensive. Again, our residence team has done a really great job of, adding a bunch of virtual tours, different photos, and like pricing guides. That all can be found on their website, residence.viu.ca. And here's just some pictures of our residents. They really are quite beautiful. They back onto a lot of really nice trail systems, and they have their own outdoor beach volleyball court as well, which is really cool. So lots of photos there. We have a lot of study abroad options as well. So that's an opportunity to, possibly do an exchange, which would be taking a semester at one of our partner schools. We have many, many across the world that we can offer. So you would do a semester there, and you would pay domestic fees while you're there as well. We also have field school options. So that's a really great way to spend usually about 4 weeks at the end of semester. You go with a big group of other students and faculty, and you're gaining up to 9 credits towards your program while you explore another part of the world. It's really great too because all of the logistics are taken care of for you. So you just pay your fees, and then all your accommodation, transportation, and activities are all planned for you. And you can just see some of the different places that our study abroad students travel to. We have a lot of great athletics and recreation opportunities for our students as well. So as a student, you have access to our gym and the weight room, but we also have fitness and yoga classes. We have intramural sports if you're wanting to play a sport kind of just for fun. And we have outdoor recreation opportunities. So you could learn to sea kayak, whitewater rafting, surfing in Tofino, all sorts of really cool ways to get out there, to learn a new skill and to explore a different part of the island, and to not have to do that solo. You get to go with another group of like-minded students. And some pictures have some different opportunities, including indoor and outdoor rock climbing. And then for those that are looking to play sports a little bit more competitively, we do have some varsity teams. We have varsity basketball, soccer, and volleyball. And we have club sports as well, including hockey, baseball, dance, badminton, golf, and swim. So anyone interested in playing sports should contact the coaches directly, mariners.viu.ca. And that's about it from me. These are the different ways that you can connect with us. Email is usually kind of the best way. We're very responsive. We get back to students really quickly, usually within a couple of days. connect@viu.ca. You can also find us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok at VI University. All of us are former VIU students, so we are happy to talk about our own experiences and to answer any questions you might have about becoming a student. So that's about it from me. Thanks. I'll open it up for any questions that anyone. Oh, I see that there's some on the side.
Yeah.
So the first one I see is, how is student life at VIU? Yeah, student life is great. Like I said, because we're a smaller school, there is a really big community feel. Walking around campus, you'll often run into, people faculty members and depending on the program, you might be in what we call a cohort program, in which case you're moving through the entire program with the same group of students. So you get to know each other really well. Yeah, and everything is very central on campus. It's not, a massive, massive school. So you'll often just find students just hanging out like in the quad, in the library, and that's usually where the majority of events and stuff happen throughout the year as well. So yeah, it is a really fun student life. Just the area around the university, a lot of things are walking distance as well. So there are, lots of different restaurants, social scenes, places with live music, and a lot of different really cool opportunities to have different excursions with other students as well. Additionally, I didn't actually mention we have a theater on campus as well because we have a theater program. It's a 300-seat theater, so we often have different plays, performances, and live music that comes through there. So yeah, hopefully that gives you a little bit of an idea of student life at VIU. I see one that says, any scholarships available for Ontario students? Yeah, absolutely. So once you become a VIU student, you're eligible for any of our internal awards. Absolutely. There's no hindrance if you're from Ontario. That being said, if you're looking for student loans, you'll have to apply for student loans through the government of Ontario until you've been a resident in BC for a year or more. So yeah, your student loans, that'll be through the Ontario government, but yeah, there's no issue in accessing scholarships if you're from out of province. The next one is kind of similar to the first one I answered. What is the campus community like at VIU? Like I mentioned, there's lots of because it is a smaller campus, it really is very much a community feel. We have a student pub on campus as well. There's a lot of great events and stuff that are happening there on a regular basis. Thursday nights, they do this thing called Global Groove. So they have bands that perform international music from different parts of the world. So yeah, that is definitely a common place. There are a lot of different events and things that go on there. So you'll often find a lot of students there, especially Thursday night. The Global Groove Night is a very popular night as well. So I see one, any scholarship. Oh, no, sorry. That was the one I already answered. Are there internship or co-op opportunities for students within their programs? Yes, absolutely. So it definitely depends on the program. They all differ a little bit. Some of them do offer co-ops, like computer science, for instance. You can do a co-op. The majority of them have no, not I wouldn't even say the majority. All of them have some sort of hands-on work experience component, and those differ from program to program. So some of them are more internship specific. So things like the Bachelor of Business Administration, they offer a lot of different internship opportunities, including international ones for students that are interested. Our trades programs, they have kind of a built-in work experience as part of their trades program as well. And then there are also practicums. A lot of programs have built-in practicums. So that would be, while you're actually attending school doing classes, you might do your practicum piece on like a Friday or Monday morning before class or whatever that looks like. So yeah, every program has some sort of offering as far as work experience. They just differ from program to program. And they're very flexible as well. As far as internships, if there's something you have in mind, if there's a field you want to go into, our faculty will work with you and do whatever they can to get you into a position that is related to your area of interest or your career goals. So so the next one I see here is, can you share some success stories of VIU alumni? For sure. There's definitely a lot of success stories, especially from different programs, because like I said, there is over 120 different programs. But some of our local alumni that we love to shout out is we have she was a graduate, I believe, from the business program, and she started a business in town here in Nanaimo called Burnt Honey. And they make the most amazing handmade ice cream, macarons, all sorts of really delicious treats. So they've been very successful. And she was a VIU grad. So we love to share that story. Also, the owner of Wild Play in Nanaimo, which is they do bungee jumping and all sorts of kind of adventure stuff. The owner is a grad of VIU as well. I believe they did tourism management. So those are some of our success stories of some of our local alumni. But yeah, certainly it varies from program to program. So great. So I see that there is a question here. How does VIU support students in their career development after graduation? Yeah, so as I mentioned, we do have the Career Studio, which is actually a brand new support that we have started offering in the last couple of years or so. So they've done a lot of work at helping students, find their career path. They have registered career counselors that are on staff that are available that can also provide some kind of different career exploration testing, personality testing to help students get a better idea of, what kind of jobs they're best suited for. And then they can also help you with your job hunt as well. We get tons of employers asking us to post jobs for VIU current students and grads all the time. So they kind of manage all of those job postings as well. And like I mentioned before, they can also help with, helping students prepare for interviewing and how to be a really strong candidate after the fact. So yeah, there's a lot of supports available to get you out there and working in your career. And if you're not really sure what kind of career you're looking for, we can help with that too. So it is really nice having that the work experience as well, because often you'll already be connected with potential employers that might want to hire you after graduation as well.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Francesca.
Thank
It was very interesting presentation, and in the meantime, I think we can wait for a couple of minutes to see if we have more questions coming. But in the meantime, I actually put it in the chat the email which you mentioned where students can reach out to with any specific questions.
Mhm.
And also, there is a recorded presentation which will be uploaded to our YouTube channel in the coming days. So feel free to reach out, to check it out and just go through it.
Perfect.
Yep.
That's great. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, email is definitely the best way to get a hold of us, and we're happy to make one-on-one meetings for any students that want to chat about any programs further in more depth. We're available to meet over Zoom, over the phone, or in person for anyone that's local. But yeah, we're happy to meet in any way, and we're happy to chat about any and all things that you might consider before making your post-secondary choice. So even if that means looping in some of the actual faculty from programs to kind of answer more in-depth questions, we're happy to do that as well.
Yeah, I think it's what the student is looking for. So let me just check if we have more incoming questions.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think no. So yeah, if there is nothing else to add, probably we will wrap up the session. Thank you very much, Francesca, and hope to see you probably during our next fair. And thanks for everyone who joined our session. Feel free to reach out to Francesca via the email, and in the same time, please check out the recording session.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me, and thanks everyone for coming.